Well, it's Sunday morning, and I haven't had enough church yet today, but also I just really want to spend some time at the piano, which many of you know is my favorite place to be. I have my people here, and my pictures, and my Mozart, and my Bach, and my hymnal, because it's Sunday morning. So I just kind of want to focus on me, because I never get to do that enough. I just want to share some things that I love about some hymns that have come to mean a lot to me, but also share with you some of the things that I have tried to do with them. One in particular, it's been a journey. One of my favorite is "Come, O Font of Every Blessing," specifically because it includes the phrase, "Bring to me my Ebenezer," which makes me think of Scrooge and "Ask me who I was," and you know how that goes. But anyways, this is what I've been doing with it recently. You'll recognize it. Now it's time for everybody's favorite prelude for every wedding we've ever gone to. People often ask, why is this such a popular thing to be played at weddings? Well, draw in closely and I'll tell you the secret. It's called Pachelbel's Canon. It's sometimes known as the GE light bulb commercial. It's known by many different things. But you'll notice in the left hand, it seems to keep repeating the same thing over and... Is that the mother of the bride? Okay, they're waving at me frantically. Just keep going, apparently. One of the bridesmaids hasn't shown up yet, so we can just keep adding things like this because I understand this woman has 16 bridesmaids to begin with. It's gonna take a while. Now the pastor is waving at me. He says, "Keep." Okay. Oh, it looks like the flower girl is drunk. This is gonna take a while. Settle back, folks. The wedding won't be starting anytime soon. right, everyone please stand. You never knew, you just never knew how much goes into the planning of a wedding. It's the most important day of anyone's life. So, it's the simple hymns that I love, just because they get inside of you. This is the first time I ever heard this was, well, it's not the first time. The first time it just really made an impact on me was the first movie that I saw with Little Women, when they get married and they're doing their, not Amish, but their New England Congregationalist wedding thing, and they're all moving around the gazebo and they're singing this in 4-part harmony. And I've never wanted to be anything but Catholic, except at that moment, because these people sing beautifully. But it's just American, it goes right to your hearts. For the beauty of the earth. The third line includes, I think, one of my favorite hymn lines. For the joy of human love, brother, sister, parent, child, friends on earth and friends above, for all gentle thoughts and mild, God of all, to you we raise this our hymn. Absolute favorite, and it has been since a kid. See if you remember this. Thanksgiving, picture it. Upstate New York, Thanksgiving morning. For some reason, no one is awake yet. It happens to be about 6 o'clock in the morning. But I mean, come on. There's a parade to watch. There's all kinds of things that have to be done, and it's up to me. I'm probably 10 years old, and it has already become my tradition each year to get up and to watch before the parade Captain Kangaroo's Thanksgiving Day special, which always, always and forever, because it's the same show. It took me a while to figure that one out. They just repeat it every year. Always finished with this. They didn't sing it. Okay, hang on one second. But they always played it, and something even then, I just kind of knew this was a hardcore American hymn. And as it turns out, this is one of the hymns they'll trace back all the way to those wonderful pilgrims who were being persecuted in their faith, forced to go to beautiful churches with lovely liturgy, and just persecuted. They weren't allowed to be angry people. They weren't allowed to be mean-spirited. So they had to get on a boat and come all the way to America so they could be free to be anti-Catholic. I'm sorry, to express their faith. And the first thing they do is cancel Christmas. These are fun people. What did you think? I mean, they buckled their hats. So, I mean, there wasn't a lot to expect of them. Okay, it really, as I'm trashing our forebears, it really is here. And now I look at it and I think, this is hardcore American. It's Norwegian. It's a Norwegian hymn. You might know it as We Gather Together. My most recent favorite memory of it is on West Wing, when Josiah Bartlett, it's one of their Thanksgiving shows, and he's about to go out and proclaim a national day of Thanksgiving. And this is what the kids are singing. The kids who, by the way, had to be taught the song by CJ, who didn't know the song beforehand. You have to watch the show. The minute I hear it, it just feels like Thanksgiving Day. So there's some songs that get stuck in my craw, and this one has been with me. I have been working with this hymn for 5 years now. And when I say working with it, I mean I can play it, but I mean like I'm trying to express something with it, and it sounds nerdy, I'm sure, but you'll get it. Just a moment. So Easter is it's about to be, unless somebody cancels it or something. And the music of Easter is all about, so Jesus had an inconvenient weekend, things went kind of awry, but everything's okay and back to normal and happy because Jesus is alive again. I have come to know and love Easter, and I won't call it resurrection because I'm not using any words to try to describe what happened at Easter with even a prefix, because it immediately says we've done this before, here we go again. Resurrection, Jesus rose up, he came back. Every word we've ever used destroys the whole concept, but nothing went back to normal. These people were undone by Easter. So what to call it, whatever. But the music of Easter is, you know what Easter is. An Easter hymn is a happy hymn because on Good Friday it's sad, and on Easter it's... happy because it looked pretty bad there for a while, but now every available trumpeter, it's happiness. Well, I don't know that Easter in its original form was happy. It was radically different, and it was a recognition that love forgives and outlasts everything. But the boys hiding in fear were not happy to hear it. Mary Magdalene, who snaps in the cemetery, just show me where you put the body, was not particularly happy, but their lives were changed by it. So the music of Easter to me should bug the hell out of you, and this song has done it. It is in Latin, O Filii et Filiae, which means you sons and daughters. I have come to name it problem children. It uses the A word, which of course I can't say right now because we're still in Lent and we don't use the A word in Lent. But it tells the gospel story of what happened on Easter Day. Read the gospel stories of Easter today. Sit down, but imagine it this way. It's an 8-year-old kid with ADHD who's just run in from the front yard to tell you that there was a bird in the front yard and then a fire truck went by, and he's not even finishing sentences because no one can say what happened except that everyone knows by the end of the day in breaking bread, and they know, but they can't even put words to it. That's what I think this song does. If you hear a fire siren or a police siren in there, it's in there. If you hear someone who has just lost an elder who's lived with dementia for the last 10 years of their life, and they've died, and there's a peace but a horrible set, it's in there. If you hear death but seen through the eyes not of glee or of denial, but faith, it's in there. If you hear Matthew Shepard, he's in there. If you hear Dr. King, he's in there. If you hear Dorothy Day, if you hear John the 23rd, if you hear yourself it's in there. Problem children. that's where it is today. So, my absolute favorite hymn, and you may have heard, I just said absolute favorite, which I just lied to you. I don't have an absolute favorite hymn. I love a hymn that you can play with, and when people sing, they lean into each other and close their eyes, and it just makes people love on each other. I have stumbled on this as of late, and I love it. I think mainly because the refrain is steal away home. I don't have long to stay here. It's from the slave tradition. These people who were literally ripped from everything they knew, brought here to be used, and then introduced to the white man's Jesus. The very Jesus that the white man could never figure out. Like the slave who heard every story from the Bible talk about freedom and God's place with those who are oppressed. And the music that comes from that. This is, I believe, oftentimes used at funerals. I love it. One, I promise. So this is one of these songs that it has urban legends about it, and no one can really come up with what it is. It's a beautiful song. Somewhere people got it in their head that I guess it is actually the national anthem of Finland, I think. It's based on Sibelius, Finlandia. But the words, this is my song, O God of all the nations, a song of peace for lands afar and mine. This is my home, the country where my heart is. Here are my hopes, my dreams, and my holy shrine. But other hearts in other lands are beating with hopes and dreams just as true and as high as mine. My country's skies are bluer than the ocean, and sunlight beams on cloverleaf and pine. But other lands have sunlight too, and clover, and skies are everywhere as blue as mine. Oh, hear my song, O God of all the nations, a song for peace, for their land and for mine. there be peace upon the earth. May you have music in your life today and love from Flaherty and the piano and oh goodness. And thank you for putting up with my craziness. I love you. I mean it. Now get out of here. I have to go back to church.